Okay, guys. The sun is out. The sun is finally out. Hasn't been out all day. So we're gonna shoot some film. It's gonna be great. Oh my God, we're not. I'm shooting digital. Wow. That's, yeah, wow. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. A few months ago, I was able to get my hands on one of the most unique cameras on the market to date, the Hasselblad 907X with the CFV 100C digital back. It came with me all across London and crushed every scenario I threw at it. Small, light, stupidly sharp. However, I'm not convinced that that form is the most interesting version of what this camera actually could be. So today, here in the wide open Nevada desert, I wanted to explore the way that this camera can transform. Because honestly, it might just be more than meets the eye. Look at this. We got old school Hassy 501C with a digi back. Let's see what kind of magic we can make here in the desert. Now, to really transform the CFV 100C, my partner in photographic crime and I needed to do what we do best, hit the open road. Not bad. And the extraterrestrial highway in the vast Nevada plains would be just the trip we needed. But I must admit, it didn't exactly go according to plan. Now, if you don't know what the 907X and the CFV 100C is, let me command R your brain. It's one of Hasselblad's digital medium format cameras that contains 100 megapixels inside its beautiful body, and it comes in two sections. The 907X, which is the slim-ass square, which is useless on its own, and the CFV 100C, which is a mouthful, but is actually the camera part that captures your trashy photos. I mean your photos of trash. So, that 100C, or digiback, is the brains of the operation. That hot piece of backside pickles is what makes this camera so special. Basically, it can mount to any V-mount camera system. And having the 907X being so small means you can actually adapt other lenses quite easily to its sexy body. Now, the 501C was one of Hasselblad's medium format bodies that was released in the mid-90s. Hasselblad is one of those cameras that when you look through that waist level viewfinder, you know your image will be one hell of a banger. And honestly, it didn't take me all that long to feel quite at home with this shooting experience. And honestly, it feels like someone is quite at home here. Okay, we're back at it. So we're here in Hinckley. We've been to these places before, but last time it was rainy. So I feel like I didn't really get what I wanted out of it. So we're here doing it again, and this time with 100 megapixels. I kind of wish there was something here because I think this frame would be nice, but there's really nothing visually interesting in there. Now, when one decides to use one of these vintage bodies, you don't really have to know much. It attaches like a film back and virtually plug and play. Or more like attach and slay. But when shooting one of these 500 series bodies, you might want to keep a few things in mind. One, since this sensor is smaller than film negatives, that means you need to adjust your framing a little bit. Hasselblad does provide you with a framing mask to really dial in your composition. I have to back up. So one thing where I'm doing right now is not using the screen, the focusing screen, to give you like framing, and that's just because I'm lazy. Because honestly, I'm kind of spraying and praying. I probably took 5 steps back to get the framing that I want. So I guess that's good for you to know if you don't have one of those screens that give you approximation for the frame. But just put it in. Anyway, I'm gonna put it in after this. Boom. Does it look like I'm running super fast? The next thing is, well, you'll need to use a handheld light meter or at least an external one. This back, when attached, goes dark and makes you utilize your skills from all those years sweating and swearing over your, well, messed up film negatives. And third, Because the sensor is smaller than 120 negative, that means you need to keep in mind focal length. But we will get to that further on when we start to play around with this camera in other ways. Whee! Photo taken with my buddy. One thing about this time of year is that the sun sets fast. And we had to make it to Vegas so that we could get, well, hella drunk. I mean, rest for the journey ahead. If you've ever made your way from LA to Vegas and you like taking pictures of dumps like we do, then you will for sure have come across this iconic EAT landmark. Trash and terrific. I've actually stopped here a while back, but had only shot pink as hell Polaroids. So I was happy to do this place a little bit more of justice this time around. So I did a shot through this door frame, and let's see how many stops the Hassy can actually utilize, because it's pretty bright out there and very dark in here. So I have faith in those flexible files. Oh, and Jason thought so as well. Now, the California desert is both literally and figuratively a goldmine of locations, and we were chasing the light to get to the next one that had actually been popular on the gram for a while. But nothing could have prepared me for the excellence that was forthcoming. Oof.
Your destination is on the right.
Sometimes locations just suck, and sometimes you catch them just at the right time, making all other disappointments better. Oh, so good. So far in the day, the camera was performing, but honestly I wasn't. I'd felt that the images so far were not DAF, dope as fudge. However, that would change here at this location. This mountain glow was giving me a googly eyes. And I can't forget to mention the detail that this old-ass Hassy lens musters up. Just look at the sharpness and the lovely depth of field. Super echoey. Yeah. Gosh, it's gonna look, I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna look good. This mine was something else. Open canvas for people to express their art. And also their fart, I guess. Oh, wow. Up here is crazy. It was also wild how open and vast this place was. Walkways and machineries around every single corner.
Going up there, I think.
Yeah. So apparently, this thing, if we go down there, not all the way, but there's stairs right there to take us up.
Oh, so you don't even have to go in the dark?
No. Jason's scared. He's a new scary cat. It's okay, me too. Oh, Daddy. Ooh. Ooh. Dude, so good. Like, the light is so nice. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? You think it's something? I don't think so. Okay, so I ain't gonna lie to you. Having a variable ISO is very handy when there's no light out here whatsoever. So. Wait, did you hear that? And after that hasty exit, we found our way into Sin City for a night that, well, neither of us will remember.
That smells like ass in there.
And after you were in there?
Not my fault.
Dude, no way. Oh my god, I'm like, $100,000. You know how many Leicas I could buy for $10,000? Oh my god, wait. Oh god, Oh, don't tell Lauren. I gotta sell my car and my kidney.
It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We just woke up. Since we had a late start to the next day, we really needed to book it to our next location, a couple hours north. At this point, we would only be able to catch sunrise if we were lucky. Unfortunately, well, we weren't so lucky. Yeah, I don't want to die. Another one. Another mine that we can't get to. Each mine we tried to hit was a well-boarded up failure. At least we could take some photos from a slight distance. Honestly, that's where the 65 on this Hassy back came in handy. And unfortunately, 3 for 3 today.
We're here for that shot, though. That's a good one.
However, the sunset did produce some lovely light, so we stopped for a quickie at this restaurant. And honestly, I ain't too mad at them. At least we would get something good today. These shots are actually nice. The old Hassy lens helped produce some wonderful sunset tones. The 38mm XCD native lens is wonderful and dumb sharp, but there is some magic that just happens with these old Hassy lens coatings. This pasture shot is easy on the eyes and so lovely. Tones for days, baby. Yeah, okay. It's pitch black outside, and it's only 5:30. Isn't that wild? Daylight savings, y'all. That evening, we grabbed a beer and found the shadiest motel we could find to rest our heads. And because the day held so many busts, we decided to go out and shoot some night photography. And that is when I decided to switch up a few things. 16-second exposure. So what I'm doing is I'm using the Hasselblad back with the 907X body, but I'm also, the cool thing is I'm adapting a 50mm TTartisans Leica lens to the front of it, and that goes down to a 1.4, or opens up to a 1.4, and that's pretty cool. Here in the darkness of the Nevada skies bring me to my next transforming point about the 907X and the CFV100C camera. Because of this form factor, the body is highly acceptable of other lenses. And because this camera is so small, I thought that putting a Leica lens on the front of this puppy would be kind of fun.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
That next day, we had even more driving to do, and had some more mines on the list. That drive would undoubtedly prepare our bodies for the bangers that we were about to receive. Yep. Okay, well, nice try. Move on. Another mine bites the dust. We weren't able to go in. Private property signs everywhere, so basically, when it comes to mines, they're 0 for 3. Now we eat Doritos for breakfast and lunch, since there's nothing out here at all in Nevada. Half of our locations so far have been stripped from us. However, there was one thing that is true. The photo gods do provide, and they usually do in the form of some abandoned trash on the side of the highway. This half burned down location would be perfect to really try out some Leica lenses on this slimmed down Hassy body. Right off the bat, I decided to slap on a lens that I thought would be kind of fun to use. An old Leica thread mount 35 Voigtlander color scope R f2.5. Because of the older lens coatings, I thought it would lend for a vintage vibe. But, as you can see from this image, we get some hardcore vignetting happening here, which should have been expected. Because the Hasselblad sensors are bigger than 35 negative or even a 35 digital sensor, the lens image circle doesn't quite cover it. But to be honest, it actually does cover more than I anticipated. And this was also shot wide open. However, if you do crop in about 10%, then you could totally just get rid of it. Maybe take a few steps back if you want to use this lens and then crop in post. To be fair, this lens is hella wide for a medium format sensor, so I can see why it wouldn't be your go-to lens. But it is hella sharp though. However, using one of my cheapest lenses I own might just be my new favorite way to wield this camera. 35 to the TT50. This might be my favorite frame from this location here. This 50mm lens renders the image somewhat soft, but also pleasing. And this shot is dumb. The detail is delicious. But don't lick it, because I bet it's lead paint. And look at that snap crackle 3D pop on this chair, baby. The depth of field is literally out of control. Because I was tired of all the driving today, I figured we would just spend the night here in Tonopah. Yep, clown. I'm at a clone motel and I'm scared.
It's gonna be okay.
I'm scared. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do this.
Dude, I don't know if I can stay in here.
Oh, it's just me. No. Nope. I couldn't. We just stumbled upon a gem of a location that would just have me switching up things once again. Out in the middle of Nevada. Now, one thing that most humans know to be true in the film world is that the Pentax 6.7 slaps so hard. You could hear that shutter from outer space. And when looking into lenses, you find the 105 to be god tier. And considering I own one, I thought it would only be right for me to try it out on this box like Hassy. And hot damn, does it render the image on this 100C sensor like no one's business. Even though that lens adapter is chunky as hell. These shots just have a way about them. However, the 105 on this smaller sensor is a bit long. In the 35mm equivalent sensor world, we are talking about an 83mm lens. That's a bit telephoto. But hot damn, don't it separate my dog Jason. This 105 wide open just makes this shot looks just so creamy and dreamy. But the great thing about adapting lenses made for a larger film negative, whether it's the original Hassy lenses or Mamiya 645 lenses or even this specific Pentax 6.7 lens, they will all cover with no problem of vignetting. They were made for some serious celluloid sizes. Now, driving like a bat out of hell, we wanted to get to our next location by sunset. But unfortunately for us, the Nevada mountains had other plans for us and decided to hide the sun. But to be honest, I wasn't mad at it since it made for a very lovely blue out. Another thing that is quite nice, to be honest, is the flexible ISO. And because of my extensive film background, this is kind of a mind-bending concept, but one that I would totally embrace. Okay, let's go to 800. That's looking pretty nice. Here, I decided to pop on one of my favorite lenses, the 75 Pentax 6.7 lens. This lens is not quite as fast as the 105, but still just as sexy. But here does bring me to one of the cons of adapting lenses to this system overall. Something I like to call hello jello. Since the native lenses for the 907X system are leaf shutter lenses, that means that the shutter is inside the lens. So when you adapt any lens, you need to put the camera into electronic shutter mode. So when taking photos, you want to stay relatively still, which can slow down your shooting experience ever so slightly. It's not a huge thing for film shooters like myself, since I'm slow in more than one way, but definitely something to look out for. Now, after sunset was done, we decided to check into the only motel that truly feels like a home away from home, the Travelodge. Here, big boy. This video is brought to you by yours truly, Jason Grainy Days, because I'm using all his gear for this video. His Hassy, I have macro lens, I have his adapter. What did I bring to this?
Well, we did it. We woke up for sunrise. It's never enjoyable in the moment. As in, like, the moment you're putting your pants on. But it happened. We're doing it.
Well, yeah, that next morning, Jason and I decided to torture ourselves by waking up ass crack early again. And for what? A chance of cloudy with no meatballs? I'm not too mad at it, since the clouds did give some Mad-Eye Moody vibes. And this morning, since I was only half awake, I decided to slap on the 38mm XCD lens that is native to the system. To be frank, I didn't want to think this morning. That's right, 35mm, baby.
Old Glory knows what's up.
Overall, you can tell that this was the XCD lens. These shots are so clinically sharp, and they have so much texture to them all. A nice lens palette cleanser to show what the baseline of this camera just looks like. However, with this 38mm, I do find that I want a bit of a tighter frame. So I might be getting a native 55 in my future. After waiting for like 3 hours for Jason to finally drop a load off, we hit the road once more.
It's gonna be kind of the same situation, just crap lighting.
Today is brought to you by clouds. Clouds, they're in the sky, and they ruin your photos. One thing that I've noticed so far about my shots was that I'm really fond of that TTartisans lens. Sick. When wide open, it creates some pretty dreamy photos. The edges swirl, and the image, though sharp, has an overall softness to them. Something that I think can help really add some character to these great sensors. This lens was making me feel things I hadn't felt before. These shots around the watering hole building are just ethereal and almost painterly. This combo just really helps your focus pop and just locks you in. Even though the weather was not exactly cooperating with us all that well, I'm quite into a lot of these images. And the good thing about having to drive hours all around Nevada in this dreary ass weather, it kind of gives some time for the clouds to burn off and the sun to shine. And I guess a barbecue break can't hurt either.
This is the first barbecue of the trip, and I don't know about you, Jason, but I'm hungry and happy.
Oh yeah. Who's ready? Pretty good. However, this heavenly meal break would be just the thing we both needed because it was about to get real sexy. Hell, this is the light we've been wanting all day long, and now we finally have it. Oh my god, it's so beautiful though. Ripe time, perfect timing. Perfect, right, Jason? As the light kept teasing us, we moved forward. We were on our way home and had one more night in Nevada before California would be calling us. I guess this is my bed, and that's my sink, where I will be getting ready in the morning. We have two sinks.
Okay, so one's the poop sink.
One's a poop sink? Yeah, okay. Jason got a little baby whiskey.
Wow, you opened that really fast and really comfortably. You may have to just spill it all over again.
Oops, we did it again. We woke up for sunrise.
Again, not next day, we would be torturing ourselves. Let's get sunrise. Now, back in California, I decided to come full circle. So I slapped that 100 pickles onto the back of that 501c. And just like being back in California, I once again felt at home with this old school Hassy. This image of the cafe, hands down, top shot of the trip. The way that this 65mm lens alongside that digital Hasselblad file really allows for this shot to shine. The colors are wonderful and the image is just so dreamy. I mean, hot damn. I knew before sunrise was Oscar worthy.
Sun's coming out now.
Now this is the sun that we have been waiting for this entire trip.
That's really hard to do on the side there. It's not easy, not an easy thing.
After all that, all those busted mines, shady motels, and heartbreak around every do not enter sign, I think I finally get this camera. This 907X and its massive 100 megapixels is not just one camera, it's any camera you want it to be. Slap on that 501C and you're flying as close to the film feel as possible. Throw on a Leica M lens and it becomes this tiny, weird, dreamy art camera. Mount a Pentax 6-7 lens and suddenly you've created a monster, like a medium format bazooka with bokeh so creamy it should come with a lactose warning. Every version changed how I shot, and the wild thing is, through all those transformations, the files still look unmistakably Hasselblad. Rich, clean, flexible, and stupid gorgeous. So yeah, don't let the size or simplicity fool you.
Okay, let me collect some thoughts. For one, I really enjoy using this 100 megapixel back on the back of an analog camera. It just feels right every moment. You just, you switch to the next frame kind of thing. It's nice. It's really nice. The fact that I can do it is just like, but the light's hitting really well today. I'm so glad we woke up for this. With the lighting yesterday was just like blah, and with like a lot of misses on this trip, this is a nice end to the trip. California weather, baby.
This little cube transforms harder than my mood after some coffee, and it rewards anyone who's curious enough to play with it. And after this whole Nevada trip, after adapting it, rebuilding it, breaking it down, and Frankensteining it back together, I can say with full confidence that this thing is absolutely more than meets the eye. Baby, it's nice. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just a scary sound. It was just, it's probably the wind.